We've got our special guest coming up very shortly, actually. Matt Hendricks from the Reshes Appreciation Company. And we also have Rob Shields, who is from the Koori Service Club, who will be joining us as well. But first of all, Matt will be joining us any moment now. And we are going to put on a song for you and then get him on the phone. And then we have a couple of a Reshes ad that we're going to play straight after this song, right, Noah?
Yeah, we're going to be talking Reshes with Paul, and we've got a whole range of fun Reshes memorabilia for older people. For me, it's hearing it for the first time. I'm
not sure about the older people. I mean, it's a misconception that only old people drink Reshes. Right?
I'm saying that the ads and music. I'm sure there's plenty of young people that drink Reshes, but I'm sure there'd be less young people that remember ads from before they were born.
Yeah.
And I'd like to just put in a disclaimer here. We're not promoting go out and drink alcohol. We are promoting what Reshes do is the appreciation company. Is it a company?
It's Reshes Appreciation
Society.
Community group.
And the fantastic community group. They raise money for all different charities and organisations out there, and so this is the focus that we're going to have on this show tonight. But Paul does like his Reshes every now and then. So let's put on a song and let's get Matt on the phone then.
Let's kick off this song, this show, with a song dedicated to Aaron, who couldn't be here tonight, but it is Cloud 9 by Baker Boy, and it's one of our favourites. Enjoy.
Hey,
Baker Boy in the town. I'm on Cloud 9. Koori, no one's really like you, more like you do. They see you really humble, don't ever change, you become humble. Let you go get in it, no one that I just think about God, don't ever turn back on that. Way, get like no one turn, do that. I ever on you, billing out a kabar, couldn't I'm with them, no one down from here. We're gonna fly high like an eagle, don't wanna see no ego. Don't think about it, let's go. Just hold on to my hands and let's go. How to do a Baker Boy, young man, not a boy. You think you treat me like a toy. I'm a human being just like you and me. We are family, stop the jealousy. Come with me now, break it down. No try to town, stop in the clown. Be the person that takes to the crown. So at the end of the day, you be found. So never back down, back down, back down. You wanna be as good as me, boy, better practice. Step back for the power of my blackness. You wanna be as good as me, boy, better practice. Step back for the power of my blackness.
Can't stop me now.
Can't stop me.
You can bring me down.
Bring me down.
I'm on Cloud 9. I'm not coming down. Can't stop me now. You can bring me down. I'm on Cloud 9. I'm not coming down.
Whenever the truth comes out, you hardest ripping out. You gotta stay strong to die. Bigger the crowd, the bigger we are. Cause the internet changes the line, cause they don't want us to bind. From the human race, always on the case, ending up getting chased. Now we're standing in chains. Flashback, being black, reality hits back. Your system was whack, I'm trying to find a way to change it. Because naralika na mabalandan, wala lika yun malaya chukum na mabiti man gumalabala niya bilijama. Magiti wala duwag na purong mga. Tagurkum na purong galong nga nalibili mirichin. Anitika marijuana, na puliga buna mirna, anyawana. You wanna be as good as me, boy, better practice. Step back for the power of my blackness. You wanna be as good as me, boy, better practice. Step back for the power of my blackness.
Can't stop me now. You can bring me down. I'm on Cloud 9. I'm not coming down. Can't stop me now. You can bring me down. I'm on Cloud 9. I'm not coming down. Can't stop me now. You can bring me down. I'm on Cloud 9. I'm not coming down. Can't stop me now. You can bring me down. I'm on Cloud 9. I'm not coming down. Can't stop me now. You can bring me down. I'm on Cloud 9. I'm not coming down. Can't stop me now. You can bring me down. I'm on Cloud 9. I'm not coming down.
You can bring me down. I'm not coming down. Can't stop me.
When you're ready for more taste, I reckon you're ready for Reshes.
Taste is ready and we're right here. A silver can, you got it clear. for beer.
Well, that was just a very iconic Reshes ad that we will hear more about in a sec, but just before that was Cloud 9 by Bag Boy featuring Kian. And now, Paul, do you want to tell us a little bit about that ad and the special guest who we have here on the phone?
Thank you, Noel. That ad was done quite a few years ago, and that was the legendary Doug Parkinson singing that. We've been talking a little bit about Reshes for the last 6 months and the Reshes Appreciation Society. We've spoken on the basis of what people can do when they get together, what people can achieve, what they can change, and that's what the Reshes Appreciation Society has done. And we welcome on the line now Matt Hendricks, who was the founder of the association. Good evening to you, Matt.
Yeah, good evening, guys.
Great, thanks for coming on, and it's great to have you here. And the Reshes Appreciation Society is a great organisation, isn't it?
Thank you so much. Yeah, we were founded, as a bit of a laugh, but then pretty quickly we were able to do some pretty amazing things. So we're really proud of it.
And as you say, you might have started it not deliberately, or it was started as a little sort of, as you say, a laugh. But it's got a great purpose now, hasn't it?
Yeah, correct. I mean, obviously we shamelessly promote Reshes the beer. We think it's been neglected over the years. We think it's, it was always New South Wales state drink, and, slowly but surely all these inferior interstate swill has kind of come across the border and taken over. And so there's a bit of a laugh that we all share around that. But I think it's fair to say that as the group has gotten bigger, as we've started to kind of tick some of the boxes in terms of what we wanted to achieve with the group, we kind of realised that there was a lot more that we could do in terms of mental health, in terms of building community, and in terms of really, making a difference in other people's lives, as well as, just drinking, of course.
Yeah, and you've done that because I think there's is it true to say there's around 17,000 members now?
Yes, 17,000 on Facebook. There's various social media. We've got another 4,000 or 5,000 people following us, and a whole bunch of people that aren't on social media at all, and are just members by being on our mailing list. So I'd say our numbers are well over 20,000 now. It's pretty amazing.
That's fantastic, and some of the things that you've achieved, like you were saying that. Well, I think I'm a member of the association. I think I'm back numbered 600 and something. My number's worn off my badge, but and my son's in it. Who's my son's 31. He's in it, and but people join. There's a lot of camaraderie built up in the association, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. I mean, really early on, it's fair to say, I reckon about 5 years, we were a group of 100 or so, and we were going nowhere fast. And then all of a sudden, we started to, I guess, become popular, and people started joining. And I think after our first 1,000 people, we started to think, you know what, we've got to be more than just a kind of a faceless number on social media. Let's start meeting up. And so we started, heaven forbid, meeting up with the real people on the other side of the social media profiles that we're all kind of hiding behind a lot of the time. And we realised, actually, these are all a really great bunch of people, and even though we have very little in common except the love of the best beer ever brewed, we have an awful lot in common as well. And so we started putting together get-togethers. We came up with a discount scheme where we all have membership tags that we can show in over 200 venues, and we get a discount and a kind of reward for being a society member. And really those discounts are often quite small, but it just kind of makes all of our members feel a bit important. We've got passports that help us travel around, primarily New South Wales, but also interstate, and I guess spread the word. But effectively, people go and get stamps in different venues out in the bush, and we all support pubs that, frankly, none of us would ever visit if it wasn't for the passport. So I guess there's so many levels that it works. I like to think we make a difference individually for all the members that are a part of it. I like to think we make a difference for the venues that we support, and and the trips that we kind of plan. And I guess that's not even remembering to say we've raised over $53,000 for various charities over here at different events. So
That's
it's pretty cool.
amazing. $53,000. Well done, Matt. That's incredible.
Fantastic.
That's really great. And Matt, do you think you'd be the best. You'd know a bit more about this than probably the ordinary members. But do you think the manufacturers of the brew have they noticed? Are they listening? Or do they support the initiative?
Yeah, I think so. I think every now and then when we carry on a bit about interstate brews and things like that, I think everyone really understands that it's kind of a Roy and HG kind of niggly aggro thing, and really we'd be fools to bite the hand that feeds us.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, I think it's pretty hard to ignore. I think the movement behind people wanting to reconnect with that sense of kind of nostalgia that we all have from, so many of the people that drink Reshes drink it because their dad drank it and their grandfather before that, and and I think that one of the things I was just doing some stats, which is a funny thing to say, but I was looking at the statistics of our members. The biggest group in our membership are aged 25 to 35. So, gone are the days where you could get away with saying Reshes is an old person's beer. It's a beer for everyone, and I reckon, we'd like to think that anyway.
Oh, yeah, it's interesting you say that, because my local's the Vic on the Park at Marrickville, and I see all these young girls come in even ordering schooners of Reshes. It's pretty amazing.
Absolutely. Yep, 14% of our members are women, and we'd love that number to be bigger. So, yeah, absolutely.
That's really fantastic. And can you tell us a bit about the Sir John Young Hotel in the city? Because it's got a lot of significance, hasn't it?
Yeah, it does. So that's owned by the great-granddaughter of Edmund Resch. It's been in the family for years. Not sure of the exact date. But over COVID, the family took a massive gamble on us and renamed the venue the Resch House. And so if you go in there, it's on the corner of George and Liverpool Street, just opposite kind of World Square and the Three Wise Monkeys, I think. But if you go in there, you'll see our honour board up on the wall, and that's got everyone's names emblazoned that's kind of completed the passport journey.
Is Paul Shield in there on that
Paul
board?
No.
Paul Shield on that board?
Look, it's extraordinary. And, I think it's fair to say we want in our society to just kind of reflect what people appreciated about the beer. There's all of these beautiful vintage artwork in pubs all over New South Wales, in pubs that often don't even stock Reshes, and we kind of really like having that sense of history and tradition. In fact, that's one of our values. Our values are mateship, tradition, and beer, which I think says it all.
and it's really fantastic. Sometimes I'll see on the Facebook page people that I've known for like 20 years now, their name will come up liking posts, and they hang on there. Didn't know they were a Reshes drinker. They live in Newcastle or wherever, It's really fantastic. And so the Resch, you mentioned Edmund Resch's granddaughter. So the family are a bit involved in this, in the Reshes Appreciation Society.
Yeah, they've been huge supporters over the years, from giving entire walls of their establishment to us, to giving our members discounts when they come and flash their badge, to often being the top bidders on auction items and things for charity. I couldn't say more about how supportive the family's been.
Oh, that's really fantastic. And for those who want to have a visit to the what is now called the Resch House, was the Sir John Young Hotel, and you can buy merchandise there, Matt, too, can't you?
Yeah, we've got a little merch stall there. I think at the moment we've got bucket hats and stubby coolers and some other stuff. But yeah, it kind of turns over. I think the house itself also has more vintage Reshes kind of paraphernalia as well, with different logos that have long been out of circulation. So yeah, it's a real kind of trip down memory lane. A great visit, I reckon.
Excellent, Matt. And DJ Bartigo here. Just wanted to know Like what type of can you tell us a bit more about the different charities that you've raised money for? Like any particular ones
absolutely.
that stand out?
Absolutely. I mean, we were kind of drawn over the years. We've had a bit of a bias towards men's mental health focused charities and men's health kind of charities. That tends to be a good kind of, it reflects a lot of our members and where we're at. So we've raised enormous amounts for over the years from Movember for Mentoring Men, a charity that effectively partners up men that are going through changes or stresses with other people that can kind of walk the journey with them. But then equally, as different kind of circumstances have hit, I think a couple of years ago there was that massive bushfire season, and so we raised a whole bunch of money for the Rural Fire Service by selling bottle openers and the like. So,
amazing. Right.
It kind of it's something we're really proud of. It's kind of the soul of our society, I think.
Yeah, and every dollar counts in those circumstances, because people give out of their pockets, and it's like, and they want to help as well. So, yeah, well done on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, even a couple of years ago, I remember there was one of the members who had a really fantastic idea. He'd been touched by tragedy, and he asked us to support an initiative to get as many members trained in first aid, mental health first aid training. And so, sure enough, we put the call out. A whole bunch of people donated money, and then anyone that wanted to at that time could go off and have fully funded mental health first aid training, which was, the kind of practical difference we'd love to make. So
that's really fantastic. And Matt, can you tell us, to get on the honour board, can you tell us what that takes? It's something pretty special, isn't it?
It's going to sound quite extraordinary. I mean, first thing I would say is it requires a responsible driver, is first and foremost. But there's over 200 venues. I think it's 207 at the moment that are kind of listed as preferred venues on our website. There's a whole bunch of different kind of requirements, but effectively people need to visit 150 venues in a calendar year. And those venues need to include a significant portion of venues in Canberra, a significant portion of the venues in Queensland, and the one venue that we have in Victoria. So, it's part of this shtick we have of trying to spread the gospel across the border, and so we want to kind of really help those more remote sort of venues. But 150 venues. You've got to have a schooner in each of those venues, which is kind of why I've said you need a responsible driver. And
I was about to say, what about the breathalyzers? Breathalyzer
well,
test.
Yeah. You'd be blown away. You'd be blown away by how many people have done it. And, the other thing I would say is not something that we predicted, but there are so many people out there that are looking for an adventure to have with their loved one or partners.
Yeah.
And so many of the Reshes drinkers out there are out there, travelling with their wives or partners and visiting places they would never have visited, staying in hotels they would never have stayed in. It's just a really great trip to have with a loved one.
Yeah. And they could take their family as well, because there's different places that people can go to. Yeah, sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
And you get the passport, and then you take it to each venue and get it stamped, don't you, Matt?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a bit of a logistical nightmare getting those stamps out to all of these and having, making sure that everything is organised. But yes, every year. In fact, I think a guy called Remy just qualified today. I just received a kind of evidence of all of his passports, so we've got to double check all of his documentation. So I'll call out to Remy if he's out there. We did receive it.
Remy.
Got to check.
Another order of Resh. And,
go on the honour board.
Absolutely.
Matt, and do you think that there's been a bit of a resurgence in the sales, I think, and there was including the fact that they produced the Reshes DA again, and then they brought the new line out in Reshes Reel. Do you think that was a part of the part of the sort of build up from the Reshes Appreciation Society?
Look, I'd love to think so, absolutely. I'd love to think so. The DA coming back certainly was. I remember a few years ago being asked, if we could do a single thing. And I said, well, members would love to have dinner ale back. And I mean, some members, i.e. me, would just love to taste it for the first time because it had been cancelled basically my entire adult life. So, I think there's momentum there. But I couldn't really talk on behalf of the brewery. I just hope that they keep gracing us with good decisions and keep on spreading the word.
Yeah, well, we hope they do too, because it's great, and it's a great what you've done, Matt. I think starting this organisation and a lot of the work you do yourself. I know that. I know you don't seek any recognition for it, but you do a lot of the sending out the badges, sending out the passports, and the merchandise you do. I think as a part of your own business, but you don't get paid for that. So on behalf of the members, we really appreciate what you've done.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it.
Member number 2.
It always reminds me of Austin Powers. There's a scene where he says, "Who does number 2 work for?" But anyway, we did member number 2 because we auctioned off member number 1, and would you believe that our members are crazy enough to donate an enormous amount of money in order to be member number 1. So there's a bloke called Tony, or better known as Bullant, who paid $2,500 and donated that to Movember for the privilege of being member number 1. So bit of a call out to Tony in case he's around as well.
G'day, Tony, and well done, because that's a great commitment, isn't it, to the Movember. And well, Matt, we think it's fantastic what you're doing.
And Matt, Paul talks on the show a lot about how Reshes was founded in Wilcannia. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes.
I know that because Paul talks about it. So we were looking at there was apparently one of the guests that we had from Wilcannia on our show. And she was talking about the fact that they can't get the Reshes beer in Sydney. It has to be ordered in
they can't
Adelaide.
get it in Wilcannia.
They can't get it in Wilcannia.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. But, I should refrain from talking about brewery-related matters. But, yeah, I mean, we'd love to see Reshes everywhere. We'd love to see it overseas, for that matter. So, I'm not the guy to ask. But, but yeah, there's some incredible history in Wilcannia, and I know that Alice herself has gone and visited there recently. So, yeah, hopefully we can get something happening out there.
Yes, and then people can go there and get their passport stamped at Wilcannia.
It would be great. It would be great.
Certainly.
Should have had it up and running for years. That's a good idea.
Certainly, Nicole, who we interview here, she knew about Alice going there, and I think the people of Wilcannia appreciated the fact that she did. And who knows, maybe we can sweet talk the brewery into helping out the people of Wilcannia later in the year. Yeah, I agree. Wouldn't that be great? So, Matt, thanks so much for coming on. We'll keep in touch with you because we think it's brilliant what you're doing. And special hello to all those Reshes drinkers out there. And as the saying goes, Matt, Reshes it refreshes. Absolutely. It's the drink we drink around here. Yeah, that's right. Thanks so much, Matt, and we'll talk soon. Yeah, thank you, Matt. All the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Okay. Thanks. Good night, Matt. Bye-bye. Yeah. Well, that was just Matt from the Reshes Appreciation Society. And Andrea, we have a song up here. Do you want to talk a little bit about this song? I don't. Paul knows about it. Paul, it's Paul's song. He wants us to play, and it's called "The Day Johnny Sattler Broke His Jaw." Yeah, and look, this is a legendary song. We wanted to play this for Matt and for all the Reshes drinkers that have tuned in tonight, and for all our listeners as well. And this is about the legendary Johnny Sattler, who played for South, and he captained South, and he broke his jaw, and we all remember it. Back in 1970, and And basically the song goes that the tears they flowed like reshes the day John Sattler broke his jaw. Yeah.
And who sings that one? No.
This is sung by Tim Friedman from the band the Whitlams.
Whitlams.
Well, let's, without further ado, let's give this one a listen. This is The Day Johnny Sattler Broke His Jaw by the Whitlams.
Easily beat West 7 and North's assured Parramatta of the wooden spoon. South's form today suggests the other three semi-final teams, whoever they are, will need to show a big improvement to wrest the premiership from the Rabbitohs.
Sunrise on the station breaks a morning spell. Red and green streamers flying beside the Railway View Hotel. Cleveland Street shuffle shining into the mighty roar. We were walking through the twilight the day John Sattler broke his jaw. Living 8 to a house, postman's his land of plenty, and there was nothing left for people like us in September 1970. Some worked the Everly Railway Yards, some worked the Tanneries and Botany Shore. We didn't work a Saturday that John Sattler broke his jaw. If it's high enough, if it's long enough, if it's straight between the posts, drink your beer and shed no tears for these days you miss the most. Every step and sunset shining in black and from door to door, and the tears roll down like rashes the day John Sattler broke his jaw. Saturday morning on the Botany Road was mean and it was lean. Rabbit killers in old Ford Falcons, stalling through a richer man's dream. By afternoon we were jammed tight inside the hotel doors. Even the TAB was empty the day John Sattler broke his jaw. If it's high enough, if it's long enough, if it's straight between the posts, drink your beer and shed no tears for these days you miss the most. Every step and sunset shining in black from door to door, and the tears roll down like rashes the day John Sattler broke his jaw. Young girl rocks a pram, the old guy downs a flag ale with a ghost of Dave Sands. Clotheslines are flying high, the sun is sinking behind the flats. The stone girls walk in circles with their babies on their back.